Hey guys, it's Night Fox here, and I just wanted to make a quick short video, kind of like a word of encouragement on people who maybe don't know God, or people who are on their walk with God. And I just kind of wanted to talk about some things I've been facing, some things that have been happening in my life. Yeah. So, yeah. I just got off work. I'm kind of tired. I don't know what to say first. There's like so much I could say. I ended up filming a video not that long ago, maybe I don't know, a couple days ago or like a week ago, and the Lord revealed to me He didn't want me to talk about certain things. So there's certain things He doesn't really want me discussing right now. And so I guess I'm learning to be more careful on the things that I say, but I think regardless, I'm still gonna keep making videos, about God. But there's just certain things, I can reveal and can't really reveal, but, or at least not during this time right now, so, yeah. But I just wanted to share some things that are very, very cool, are kind of I feel like are supernatural, and it's so funny because, so I'm in the shower and I'm thinking about something, and I don't know, I feel like when you're in the shower, driving in your car, or just things like that, you just think of stuff, or pray or whatever. And I was just thinking about working really, really hard and diligently and not stopping, and I just kept thinking about that. I just kept thinking of urgency, and using your time wisely and things like that. And I kid you not, the next day, so my mom got me Chinese food and it was still in my fridge. So the next day I ate it, and yeah, I think I looked at the cookie that night she bought it, and the cookie is so funny because I don't know how to say this, but things of this world sometimes are not from God, but God knows, He knows what they are, and He will use things to explain things to you sometimes, or tell you something, and He has done this with me numerous times, a lot of times, and it's that synchronization, I think I talked about this in a previous video, but it's that synchronization of you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing, and there's been a lot of that lately in my life. I don't even know what to talk about first, but anyways, the fortune cookies said, hard work pays off in the future, laziness pays off now. And I just keep having to remind myself not to give up, not to be lazy. I don't want to curse myself or anything, but I've been making myself feel like I've been struggling a lot as of lately, and I want to go back to therapy. I want to sort some things out that I never dealt with, and I think therapy would be a really great tool, personally for me, because I've been through a lot in my life that I don't really think I've talked about, but yeah, I've been through a lot of things. I've been through a lot of abuse. I've been, been through a lot. So therapy, I feel is definitely a needed necessity towards healing. So, but yeah, basically He'll use stuff like this, and He'll actually use these a lot when He tries talking to me. But I think the most important thing to just know is know when it aligns with the Bible and when it doesn't. That's when you can figure out where the messages are coming from and what it leads you to, right? So it'll lead to that spirit. I've seen enough in my life to know there's a spiritual realm and it's actually very accessible. If anyone actually really cared enough to know, they could literally just, I mean, I don't want to tell people to summon demons, and I'll never encourage that ever, but if they ever wanted to know if demons are real, well, first off, I recommend going to church, because then and pray the whole way through, the whole time you're there, and like God will really reveal himself. But if that still isn't enough, like obviously like satanic things, witchcraft, like I was into that at one point in time, actually a couple of times in my life. That was a crush for me. And yeah, he met me there. Demons definitely met me there. And I guess it's just one of those things where it's like you wouldn't know unless you've been through it, you know? So it's kind of complicated to talk about with people, but I don't really care, honestly, what people like think of me on this channel, really. So I'm just gonna like talk about it, because I feel like Jesus is just like way more important than like anything else. So, but yeah, demons are real, and I actually got delivered from a spirit of witchcraft, and I don't think I've ever explained this, but I feel like I keep things really, really well hidden, and I don't talk to people about things, and that's just the way I am. That's the way I feel like I've always been, and anyone I have trusted in the past has just completely backstabbed me, like what has felt like 100 times. So I have just naturally learned not to trust literally anybody, and really the only person I really trust right now, I would say, is pretty much like my spiritual mom. Like I feel 100% comfortable talking to her about pretty much anything, and I really have at this point. So I feel like, you know, I have talked to her about a lot, and it's just crazy how like I've seen her change, and she's seen me change, and I've seen her family change, and her family's very anointed and very gifted, and it shines in their life every single day. Yeah, I just love them a lot, and it's crazy how much they've changed, because they used to be very dark people into dark things. Also me, been there, done that. You know, and I don't care, like that's my testimony. Like things I've done is my testimony, you know, and I believe with testimony comes breakthrough. And I don't know, I mean, I haven't shared my testimony yet, but I share kind of like glimpses and pieces of it. But one day, like, I will probably just share the whole thing and just say, hey, like, this is what happened and stuff. This is why I'm a Christian, you know. But but yeah, I've been going through a lot. I barely even had an hour to like call my grandma the other day, and she was like concerned about me and wanting to know like what I've been doing. I've like haven't had the chance to talk to her in like 2 weeks. I've been so busy with like work and school, and like I'm trying to figure out a new job and just all this stuff, and I'm just like stressing myself out about it and just like stuff like that. But I know that Jesus just like, you know, he has everything like in the bag already, but I'm just, I don't know, it's like hard like transitioning, I guess. But yeah, what else? Oh yeah, that just reminded me with like the synchronicities, like so so one time I was at my grandparents' house, and I think it was like the first time I tried having a Bible study with them, and it was like really on my heart to have a Bible study with them, or start a Bible study, right? And sadly there's like a bug situation that they're facing right now, so I've been really cautious about going over there because I don't want their bugs. So it's been difficult because I really want to be there for them, but I'm not trying to like get their bugs, so it's been really hard. So yeah, that like really sucks. But so yeah, it was like one of my first Bible studies I like had with them, and I think it was before they knew they had bugs. And they were basically just like, it's so funny because like I feel like they're just so set in their ways, you know, and I just feel like grandparents, like, naturally they're like that. Like I really believe like people over like maybe like 50 or 60, they're just so set in their ways that like even if something like were to present themselves in front of them, they would have a really, really hard time transitioning because they're just not used to like change anymore. Like they're just in this routine of like what they know and like what they've always known, you know. And I feel like that's really prevalent in elderly people, especially like in the United States, like, and you know, the way they were raised and everything, it just really shines through. And I believe a lot of that old culture is like still in the church, and it might not necessarily be right, you know. So I don't know, I'm not trying to judge them or anything, but I am going to be like honest about the situation. So yeah, basically I want to start Bible study with them because I don't really think that they have like a clear understanding of a relationship with God. So I wanted to really help build that with them, and I felt like I kind of owed it to them because they've done a lot for me. So, and I just really know Jesus could just totally change their lives. And my grandpa struggles mentally, and it makes me really sad seeing them like that. And I know there's certain things getting in the way that's preventing certain things from happening, and I can't really talk about certain things because I don't think I should do that right now. But it's sad because Jesus has definitely made himself known, like that he's there, but it's like there's just no faith, I guess. Like there's no faith that he can heal. There's no faith he can help the situation. There's no it's just really sad like watching it because my grandma has, she really leans on God, you know, but, and they're both Catholic, by the way, so I don't know, my grandma really leans on God. You know, she does Catholic prayers and stuff, and has a rosary and stuff, and you know, she does that like every single day and nothing changes, you know. And and it's just kind of sad. It's just kind of sad watching it. And my grandma's just like, yeah, I pray for that every single day, blah blah blah. But it's like I look at their lives and the way they live their life and stuff, and it's like I know it's not really how Jesus wants it. And there's like a inner healing and deliverance that needs to be like taking place for sure for both of them, you know. So I guess that's all I'll really say about that. I mean, everyone needs inner healing and deliverance, like everybody. Like if you've ever sinned, you need inner healing and deliverance basically. But yeah, that's what we believe where I go, and the people I'm surrounded with are very steady. They've gone to school, they've gone to programs, they really know what they're doing. So I'm very grateful to have learned the things that I have learned, and have seen and have participated in. Yeah. But yeah, anyways. So it was like the first day doing the Bible study with them. And, you know, it was really sad because I mean, they spend so much time watching TV, like hours and hours, and it's like, really they only wanted like a 5 or 10 minute Bible study. And it made me actually very sad. Because this is just my opinion. Like, if I were elderly, I would be eating, sleeping, and breathing in the Bible. Like, I would be living in the Bible. Like, if I knew I was close to death, that's what I'd be doing. But I really believe like our lives like build patterns for our lives, and like what we do in our lives like will reflect the future for our lives, you know. And people are like, oh yeah, I'll do it later, and then, you know, tomorrow turns into a year, and then it turns into 12, and then you're dead, you know. It just never happens. Hard work pays off in the future. Laziness pays off now. Funny, but yeah, so anyways, it was so crazy because, like I was saying with this, how God uses the things of this world to speak with us. It's just so true all the time. And I just remember I prayed about this moment, and I prayed about what I was going to do with them. And I just remember my grandma, she reads the horoscopes, and she was like reading my grandpa's horoscope, and I not only did I want to talk with my grandma, but I wanted to talk with my grandpa. But my grandma was like under the impression that I was just going to talk to my grandpa for some reason. I don't know. So, but I you know, I have expectations with my grandpa, for sure, that hopefully are the Lord's will, but, and for both of them, but I, you know, especially for my grandpa, because my grandpa's in a really tough spot right now, but, yeah, she read his horoscope, and it was like, you will be talking to a very important female today, and listen closely. And I was just like, and it like blew me away so much that I took a photo of it, and it's like on my phone, because I couldn't believe like what I was hearing. And then my grandma was just staring at me like and I was just like, yeah, that's God. Like, I don't make the rules, you know. God already knew this would happen. God knew you would read that. You know. So yeah. Just like really, really cool. And it's just little things like that, little synchronicities and stuff like that. I'll pray for my day. Like today I was really tired, and it's not a surprise, I've been going through something. I'll probably be going through things, I don't want to curse it, but I have a feeling like I'll be going through things until I'm delivered. Or until close to being delivered. So I am facing like what I feel like is warfare, and I've gotten like certain things revealed to show that it probably is. And like I had to denounce something the other day in like my ancestry line, and it started off with, hey, can you guys pray for my stomach? Like, my stomach really hurts. And then it turned into like them knowing things about my body, and like my body parts, and what certain things are linked to that like I face with pain, like that I have pain in, like things like they shouldn't know. You know. And it's like things that only I would know, because I feel it every day, you know. And then it turned into like a denunciation of things my ancestors have participated in, that I had to ask the Lord to forgive me and my ancestors, for they did not know what they did, you know. And the assignments that were brought into my life because of those things. So yeah, it's just a lot. And it's just things like that, you know. It's just things like that. Like when when a prophetic person just like says that thing you need to hear, or like little things like the fortune cookie or the horoscope. And I'm not saying read horoscopes, that's not what I'm saying, because that can turn into like a whole genie in the bottle situation if you're solely depending on like fortunes and like horoscopes. So I'm not saying depend on the things, I'm saying maybe just decipher if it lines up with Holy Spirit, and the fruits of the Spirit and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just really cool. And today I'm still tired. I feel tired. I worked a long day. I didn't want to get up this morning, and I like this is gonna sound so dumb, but I was like literally contemplating quitting my job today. I'm like, I'm so tired, I should just quit my job and just find a different job, blah blah blah. I hate getting up at this early in the morning, whatever. And I was like on my way into work, and I was praying to God, and I made sure that I said, Lord, I pray for a good day. And I was just like kind of upset, and I was just kind of like, Lord, like I don't want another long day, like I want to get home, and like I want to like go to bed, and you know, I just want a good short day, Lord. And literally my coworker comes in, like, and she like never does this anymore, and she's just like helping me, and she's talking to me about winter if I stay, and she's talking to me about all these things, and she's talking to me about you know, things she can help me with, blah blah blah. And she literally was helping me with everything to get me out of the door sooner. And she was showing me like tips and tricks. She was trying to help me speed up. She's just like, you're not speeding up enough, you need to speed up, and let me show you how to do this and this and this and blah blah blah. And I was out the door super early today, and that was amazing. So yeah, I'm so thankful. And it's literally things like that, and it always happens with like things I pray about, or people I pray about, or things I pray about for the future. Like that's when the things happen. I feel like that's when or it's like when I don't even expect it, like it comes then too. So but it's like little things like that you can't help but notice, like, oh, that's like a little weird, you know. I mean, I have like probably over 100 stories of those by now, but maybe even like 200 stories, because that's just like my life now. But like God really is just like, I don't know, like my friend said one time, like God is like literally like this magical fairy tale, but except it's actually true. Like that's like what my friend told me one time. It's like everything we've always wanted in life, so beautiful and magical, except like we can actually have it, you know. I thought that was a really cool perspective on like the Lord and like the things he can do, and like I don't know, he's just so awesome. Like I just love him. Yeah. And there's a lot of other things I want to say. I feel like when you're just around prophetic people, it's kind of inevitable. Things will happen to you, and sometimes I'm not ready to hear them. Sometimes they hurt. Sometimes it stings. Sometimes it's bittersweet. Sometimes it's really, really awesome, and sometimes it leaves me in awe. It's mind-blowing. It's literally amazing. Like, there's no other way to describe it. So yeah, I'm just really thankful. And this video is getting kind of long, but I just wanted to make this video as like a word of encouragement and just things in my life that have been going on. It's kind of like an update. It's kind of like some encouragement. It's kind of you know, just to like kind of add some like positivity and kind of just share my experiences that, you know, I've been going through with the Lord. And whether now or from the past or whatever, I have plenty of stories. Um, the Lord has saved my life multiple times. I really shouldn't even be alive right now. Like, I really shouldn't. I don't know how I'm still alive. Like, I mean, the only thing I can logically think of is, like, all the prayers that were used in my life to, like, protect me. All the constant prayer that my family does for me. I don't know. Because there's been some times, but I guess that's like for a testimony, probably. Yeah, it's not like you're in the middle like I went to church and then it clicked. Like, no. It's not like that. It's I don't know. It's definitely very different. Actually, I kind of have a very similar testimony to this musician called Lacey Sturm. And I've noticed that I'm very fascinated with her and her story, because I can't help but notice, like, our lives and our upbringing seem very similar. And also, INFJ fact, she's a INFJ 4W5, which is also my thing as well, that supposedly I tested for. So, I actually, another thing I could bring up is, I downloaded audiobook. Not Audible, audiobook. And it's really cool because you get like 2 credits a month, and it's for basically any book that you want on audiobook. And it just so happened that basically all the books I want are on audiobook, and I've been wanting Lacey Sturm's books like for forever now, but I'm just like floating by with like the money I have, and so I don't have money for like certain things like I would like, and the books were one of them. And literally I only pay like $16 a month, and this book of hers was like $30, and there was another one and it was like $20. I'm only paying $16 a month, and I got both of those books. And I'm listening to the book, but I still consider it reading, because it's like when I'm doing dishes or like on the go or something, I want to, like, I don't know, read something or just like distract myself at work or whatever from something. So and just focus on like better things. So book reading is pretty essential, I guess, with that. And I listened to 2 hours worth of one of her books today. It was super good. I'll probably link it below or something like that, because just like the way that she verbalizes everything, it just has such a like a warm, poetic feeling to it, and it's just really beautiful seeing that come to life, and like seeing the Lord work on her life. And I had no idea certain things happened to her in her life like that. She got very in depth, very in detail, that normally she does not. And yeah, it was crazy hearing that stuff. But it was really inspiring, and it was just, I don't know, I'm not done with the book yet, but yeah, I'm very impressed by the book. Actually, there's a lot of books I could probably recommend, and actually that just kind of reminded me, I reached out to one of my friends the other day, and it's just crazy how the Lord will like use you as his vessel, and will really just implant things on your heart to like say to other people. That happens to me a lot. It happens to my friends a lot. Like, it's just like that, like where I go, I don't know. And I felt this really strong urge, like, and it was not going away. This has happened to me before about a lot of things, and basically my friend I love this friend dearly. She is like a INFP 9W1 or 1W9 or something like that. I think she's a 9W1. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I just love this friend. I really miss her. I miss her presence. She's really cool. And she was really on my heart a lot. And I decided to reach out to her. And I was like, hey, like, I know it's been a while. Like, she's moved out of state. So I was like, you know, are you still a Christian? Like, I remember you talking about your husband. Like, is your husband still Christian? Like, I remember you talking about him, like, losing faith and stuff. Like, you know, like, how's that going? And, I guess I'll just call this friend Amber. I'll just call this friend Amber for now. So, Amber's like, wow, like, yeah, I can't believe you remembered that, and blah, 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 because it's been, like, a year since, like, we've talked, but we used to hang out, like, all the time, and, like, it was really sad when she left, because I really liked being with her. So, and it was, like, one of those really weird things where it's, like, we connected, like, a couple months before she moved away. So it was, like, I hung out with her for, like, a lot for, like, a really short period of time. But, like, we've always kind of been friends, but not, like, really close friends like that. Yeah. And she's just like that. Like, she's just, I don't know. Anyways, so she was, like, talking about, you know, her faith issues and stuff, and she was just like, honestly, my faith has been low, and I just don't know how to feel anymore, honestly, but I'll give anything a shot, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, awesome, because I have these amazing books that I need to give to you, you have to read. And I already know, like, the Holy Spirit is just going to, like, totally move in her life in a way that it's never been able to before. And she's been a Christian for years and years and years. And she struggled a lot, like, in her childhood, and I'm pretty sure, like, even in her relationship and stuff. So Amber's really been through it too. And it, like, aches my heart that she's never been able to, like, see that tangible healing that, like, she wants so bad. And that's probably why her faith is low. So I gave her a couple of books, book suggestions. Maybe I'll link the books, like, down below or something if anyone's interested, but it's, like, just kind of basic books. I mean, you should really be going to the Bible, like, first off, like, be going to, like, a Bible study, because there's, like, this quote. It's like, hold on one second, let me pull it up. This isn't a biblical quote, but when I read this, it really connected with me spiritually. And so the quote is, God is a desert to be entered and loved, never an object to be grasped or understood. So that really spoke to me, because we can try to wrap our hands around, not hands, but we can try to wrap our heads around God and his entirety, but we will never fully be able to, because he's God, and we are much smaller than him, because he's much larger. He's much larger than us, and knows a lot more things than we do, is much more, you know, it's just, it doesn't make sense to want to try to understand God when we will never be fully able to understand God, you know. The best we can do is just, like, read the Bible and stuff like that, you know, and he knows us a lot better than I feel like we know him, but at the same time, it's like he does reveal a lot of himself through the word. So, but I guess just when it comes to like miracles and just the works he does and like the mysteriousness of God, like we'll never be fully able to like comprehend fully God, I guess is like what I'm trying to say. So, and just like the things that are just so mysterious and so out of reach and like almost like beyond us, the things that are so beyond us, beyond our comprehension, beyond our capabilities, you know, he's bigger than us, you know. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't mean that I hear this lie and it's like it doesn't mean that we are not important. We're not as important as God or anything like that. Like, we were made in his creation. Like, he loves us. Like, we are from his creation, you know? So, he created us. So, yeah, just knocking down those lies right now. But it's important to trust in his word than our feelings, essentially. So, yeah, anyways, it was just crazy what she said, because she was just like, wow, that's amazing, and I'm gonna check that out. And I recommended like a certain church she should go to, and I recommended her like these books that, you know, I've been reading and or have read that really just blew me away and taught me a lot and helped me a lot, I feel like, fighting spiritually. And I just told her right off the bat, like, this is very spiritual. Like, you are, like, if you read these books, just know, like, what you're getting into, because this is not, like, your run-of-the-mill kind of thing. Like, and I told her, like, my feelings on modern-day church and, like, how, I guess, like, lost it is. And I gave her, you know, basically my 2 cents and stuff, and just pray for her, pray for Amber and her healing and going back to God. And, you know, I really do pray that the Lord just, like, sets miracles in her life, and I pray that he just sets those up before she even, like, buys the book, you know. So this friend is just, like, such a sweet friend and such a nice person. It's like, I don't know, they really do they do deserve some justice, and they deserve healing and things like that. But I mean, I'm gonna be really honest, like, brutally honest, like, sin is a huge part of that. Like, sin is the wall of division between us and God. And God does not want that wall there. He really wants us to be united. And he really wants a relationship with us, you know? So that's the whole problem. Is, like, we can't really get our healing until we face these issues, you know? So, yeah. So that's just my 2 cents. That's kind of, like, what I'm dealing with, what a lot of my friends are also dealing with. I have friends that have gotten delivered and things like that, and they're very encouraging. And it's not all about, like, the deliverance. It's mainly about the relationship with God and having, like, a really firm foundation to the point where, like, you don't have to worry anymore, you know, and you can know, like, things are gonna be okay and trust in him. So it's a process, because it's like, when you've been so in control and controlling, like, your whole life, you know, it just, like, really, it feels foreign. It's like, how can I even do this? You know? So that's something I'm kind of going through right now as well, but I know it's kind of the same for everybody, because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like, we take care of ourselves, we feed ourselves, we make money for ourselves, and it's like, it's so easy to just brush off the fact of like how God's in that, and like how we don't really notice that, you know. And it's like I'm sorry, my throat hurts. But yeah, it's so easy to like be like, you know, it's not God, it's me. And I'm in control of my life and whatever, but it's like the more I grow with Christ, the more I realize I'm not really in control. And there's a lot of things beyond me, like so beyond me, beyond my understanding, to where it's like I have to press into Christ to understand, you know, to understand certain things and like have questions answered. And he has answered a lot of my questions. Like, I used to wonder about aliens, I used to wonder about crystals, I used to wonder about a lot of things. And I feel like the Lord has guided me and has revealed to me the truth about certain things that I wasn't really aware of before, you know. So yeah, I don't know, but this video's getting kind of long. I kind of gotta go. I got stuff gotta do, but there's more I could say, but I'm just gonna have to like make another video soon. I have my first exam in like 2 weeks, and I'm kind of stressing myself out about it. There's a lot I need to do. A lot coming up, a lot of changes. And personally, I feel like I've just been battling, I've been battling something mentally. I've been battling, I don't want to say stagnancy, but I've been battling almost like a heaviness, you know. I think I've been battling that, and I just know that, you know, the closer I get with God, the easier it's gonna get, but it just sucks right now, I guess, like in this present time. And yeah, like I said, like I'm gonna get help. I'm gonna go to like a Christian counselor and stuff, and I'm really excited for that. And I just feel like it's more appropriate because I've had counselors like who are Christian and aren't Christian, and I've talked about my Christian experiences, and I just feel like they thought I was like a nut or something, and they just didn't want to hear it, and it was just like they had nothing to say about it. And it just made me realize, like, these people just don't understand. They just don't want to understand, like, period. Like, and it was painful to talk about certain things, feeling like, you know, I can trust that therapist and like trust their opinion and stuff. They don't even know what to say to me. You know. And then I've also had counselors who I felt like were kind of Christian, but kind of didn't really know what to say to me, and didn't really label themselves as Christian. So it's like, it's mainly about just like the relationship with God, I feel like. So like, I just feel like it's like more appropriate to have somebody who understands that and like respects that and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. And yeah, just pray for me. Pray for the Lord to just put me, I guess, like where he needs to put me. And like work-wise, therapy-wise, even career-wise, even though I'm like going to school for something, but I'm still thinking about things. So yeah. And just like everything, my relationship with God, my relationships, and even the heaviness, you know. That's just like just some things off the top of my head I can think of. But oh yeah, and for Amber also, if it's not too much to ask, please pray for Elizabeth. Elizabeth really needs guidance and clarity about something. So yeah. Alright guys, alright, bye. Oh yeah, and if you have any prayer requests, put them at the bottom, and I will update like my prayer list. So yeah, but yeah, I feel like I've said yeah like 1,000 times, like by now, but yeah. Also, it's so funny because I've noticed like when I make these videos, I'm either like really hyper or really tired. Yeah, it's just like something I've noticed. It's just like really funny. You guys see my good days and my bad days. I don't know. I just don't really care. But yeah. Alright, bye guys.